Hello, I'm Dean Karstens, and this is Dean's N-Scale Trains. Today I want to talk about a new, small, compact 30-inch by 80-inch layout that I'm thinking about building. I've got a plan for it, and I'll tell you how I developed that plan, what my criteria were, and so on. Stay tuned. If you've been following my videos, you know that for the last year or so I've been developing this Scenic Ridge Railroad, which you can see here, but it's about done. So let's jump right in and start talking about how you go about designing a small layout track design. First, it's a good thing to think about what you want in a small layout. I wanted a standard door side, 30 inches by 80 inches, because that's the sort of thing that a lot of people use and it's readily available from hardware stores. Second, I wanted a railroad that was exciting to watch. I wanted to have two main tracks so I could run two trains at once without having to watch over them and worry about them. In addition to the two trains on the main tracks, I wanted to be able to run a third engine to assemble cars in a classification yard or to work a number of industries. I like operation on my railroads. Finally, I wanted to use flex track because I think it looks better than sectional track, and I wanted to use DCC for control. As you can see, a lot of these criteria are set up so I'll have a simple, easy to run railroad. I used Atlas track planning software for all of my designs. Note you can use this for free if you keep your limit your objects to 100. For a layout this small, the easiest track plan to start with is just a simple oval, and a lot of people start with that. However, as layouts go, it's pretty boring. Here's a variation of the simple loop. Adding curves and tunnels and other features makes it much more interesting. But a problem with this type of a loop is there's no room to put in some of the things I want. Here's another variation. Adding a second loop for a double track line allows you to run at least two trains at once, and it makes it much more interesting. A lot of people do this. Some of them go up, add multiple loops, up to 4 or 5 or whatever. This is one of my favorite small layouts. It's a folded loop. If you follow the black track around, you'll find that it has one route and it comes back and around in itself. I've built it in several scales from N scale on up to G scale. One nice thing about this design is it actually has two loops if you put in the switches down below. You can see it has the red loop and the blue loop. The only problem on running two trains at once is they have this short section of shared track down below shown in purple. So you would have to be continually switching things as you went along if you're going to run two trains on this. It didn't fit my criteria, so I'm not going to do this again. So back to the drawing board. I went back to the double loop version. I've got the black loop and the green loop here. And I've added two cities, which I cleverly called Big City down below and Little City up above. Big City also has a suburb, Shantytown. There are several sidings. The orange ones are set up to do industries. Up above, there's a mine. Down below, there are the two yellow classification tracks and the blue stub track for the engine house. Note that the outer loop climbs up in the back about 2 inches so that some of it sits above the other track. Here I've indicated some potential buildings, 2 red stations, the blue mine, the lower engine house, also in blue, and a number of industries in yellow. And to flesh out the design, I've added the dark gray mountain on the upper right corner, a couple of light gray hills around the outside, and to break up the two cities, the Blue River and the light gray hill in the middle. So that's it for this video. If you have any comments, please list them below and I'll try to answer them. Also, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to follow progress while I build this railroad. Thanks for watching.